guys, this is Heather with Book Junkie, and today I'm going to be reviewing It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. And oh man, Colleen Hoover, you did it again. This is the second book I have read by her. I also read Verity, which I did do a review on, and I think I like this one so much better. I have literally asked for all of her books for my birthday. I think the reason why I love this one better is because it has such an important message behind it. And also, I believe, has a sequel too. The name is It Ends With Us. So I'm super excited to read that one soon too. Overall, I'm going to be giving this book a 5 out of 5, as always, because Colleen Hoover is amazing. This book is a romance and terribly heartbreaking novel. I definitely cried while reading it. And there are some parts in there that are thriller-like, but I would say overall this is probably more of a romance book. This book is about this woman named Lily, and Lily grew up in an abusive home. Her father would constantly hit her mother, and her mother would always just brush it off and try to keep her family together because she thought she had no other choice. But going through this, Lily had a friend growing up named Atlas. And she kind of developed her first love with Atlas because he was always there for her whenever the abuse would start. Then Atlas, unfortunately, he moves away, and after college, Lily moves to Boston. And in Boston, that is where she meets Ryle. And Ryle is this beautiful neurosurgeon. They hit it off on the first night, but it was kind of like, I am never going to see you again separation, which was really sad for both of them. But then they run in together later on, yada yada yada, typical love story happening there. I don't want to give anything away in this story because I want everyone to read it. But long story short, Atlas does reappear in Lily's life, and Ryle isn't really who he is made out to be. The biggest thing that I loved about this book is the important message behind it about abusive relationships. And that when you are in an abusive relationship, you can get out. There are so many people out there to help you, and you are not in the wrong when you are in an abusive relationship. The person abusing you is the one that is in the wrong. There is so much help out there for you to be happy and safe and in a loving home and away from your abuser. A lot of people think that, oh, it was a one-time thing, it's never going to happen again, but it most likely will happen again. It's not a one-time thing, and even if it is a one-time thing, you do not deserve that. I thought there are two very important quotes in this book that I'm going to read for you guys. The first book is on page 274. And it says, people spend so much time wondering why the women don't leave. Where are all the people who wonder why the men are even abusive? Isn't that where the only blame should be placed? I agree with that so much. I don't know why so many people are like, why are you staying with him? Why are you doing this? And all those questions should not be posed to that person. I'm saying woman because typically it is woman, but the roles can be reversed. I do want to say that, but I want to say typically it is women. But why is the blame always put on the women who are abused? Why is the blame not put on the men who are doing the abusing? Why are men not abusive? Why are they even being abusive in the first place? That is what needs to stop. The second quote I'm going to read is on page 321. And it says, despite the resentment I've built up in my heart towards him, it doesn't mean the emotions aren't still there. Just because someone hurts you doesn't mean you can't simply stop loving them. It's not a person's actions that hurt the most, it's the love. If there was no love attached to the action, the pain would be a little easier to bear. And I agree with this too. A lot of people say, why aren't you leave? Well, you do love the person. That love doesn't just go away. You love them for a reason. And just because they are abusive that one time doesn't mean that they aren't, like, that you don't love them, because you do. One thing that I disliked about this book wasn't really, it's not really about the book, but there was a note from the author in the back of the book, and I read that. And it was Colleen Hoover, and she was basically saying she wrote this book based off of a personal situation, and that broke my heart. And but the reason why she wrote this book was because she needed it to be out there. And while writing this book, she wanted to change a lot of the characters for them to be good, but that's not the situation. That's not the important message of this book, is that everyone's good. The important message is that there are people out there abusing others in a relationship, and that's what needs to stop. And that's basically all I'm going to review about this book for now, because I really want everyone to read it. But I just want everyone to know that if you know of anyone in an abusive relationship, or if you are in an abusive relationship, one, it's not your fault whatsoever. I know you can kind of feel the blame is put on towards you and what did you do wrong. You did nothing wrong. It is not your fault. It is the abuser's fault, period. They should never have done that. Laid a hand on you, whether it's financial abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse. That should never happen. And I want you to know that there are so many resources out there to help you, whether if it's just going to therapy to talk through your problems, whether it's abuse or not. There are so many websites out there that I want people to know that they can use if they are in any kind of abusive relationship. And I want them to get out, get help, and just be in a loving, happy life. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button so you can see more. And don't forget to put your book recommendations in the comments. Thank you guys so much. Bye.